Suyan then realized that Bada planned it all along, just like Lena's tech tips getting hacked, as it was all a ruse to get him alone with her. It all worked according to plan, as Bada was able to separate the childhood best friends already living together by sending Arie to the market. As such, they now have ample amount of time to play Minecraft Bedrock so Suyan can destroy Bada's cobblestone. Bada knew that Arie would take years to pick out the perfect watermelon, even if her grandma tries to hurry her, as she's meticulous. So that's exactly what Arie did, standing there making Bada seem like a time traveler that can predict the future. Meanwhile, back at the beach, Bada initiates phase 2 of the plan as she asks for a massage from Suyan. But since Suyan is a Sigma male, he was already getting some lotion ready, as he was already heading to give her a massage literally a second before she asked. However, it looks like Suyan has a hard time going through with it, as he already went for Arie's mom and now he's going for her best friend, even though he didn't mean to. But just like on Roblox Fruits, she asks him to apply the lotion on her peach fruit, since she knows how mythical they are and even Suyan can't resist. It's then a sight for him to behold, as they are basically larger than Kim Kardashian. But it's all natural, since she's a talented diver. But you know what, he had to go for it, as he's already mesmerized and nothing can stop him now. Bada then started making weird noises when Suyan attacked, as she tries to make it more obvious for him that she wants more, but he's still torn inside to go further. As Bada and Suyan continue to go on the sussy Beka ride, Arie, on the other hand, is busy knocking on each watermelon, trying to make sure she gets the best one. Feels bad, man, just pick something already, since Bada is trying her hardest to get Suyan to mine her cobblestone. Even though they already went to grab the peach fruit from Arie, he decided to not go all the way, but he knows how dangerous the banana plantation can be when it's fully grown. Eventually, Bada gets aggressive, as she knows time is running out, so she asks him to ready the other side of the peach fruit. To be fully obvious, she even gives him permission to go for her watermelon fruits and pretty much every other fruit she has in her arsenal. Upon hearing her say this, Suyan instantly turns around, telling her to stop playing around, as he's had enough of her teasing him. But then she uses a magic trick to make all clothes disappear, so it finally dawned on Suyan that Bada isn't playing around. She really wanted her cobblestone to get mined and refined with his pickaxe, since they can finally turn the heat up with a furnace. Thus, Suyan goes demon mode as he whips out his diamond pickaxe, ready to destroy the cobblestone that Arie has been waving around in his face. Finally, her dreams started to come true as Suyan began his attack, but she should be warned, as he was trained by an expert from Dragon Mama. So the first thing Suyan did was to take her hands away, as she always joked about her wanting it that way. It was at this moment that she realized that Suyan isn't the same boy she knew when they were kids, as he's now grown up, ready to conquer with his unbreakable diamond pickaxe. Apparently, Bada didn't expect Suyan to be so experienced, even though every girl has been throwing themselves at him, including herself. Soon after they started their endeavor, 2 random tourists showed up at the secluded beach, as they just wanted to explore around. The 2 boys then ventured towards where our 2 lovebirds are, inching closer and closer, but one of them started having second thoughts, wanting to not get in trouble. But they ventured on anyways, where they actually ended up discovering the picnic spot the trio set up earlier, but the 2 lovebirds are missing from the area. As the 2 boys wonder where the people could be, it's revealed that Bada and Suyan were going at it from behind a rock. Without a care in the world, the lovebirds kept going, even though Arie could come back with the watermelons at any time. Regardless, if you look closely, Bada is busy talking about something that's too big, but if you put those 2 words together, it means water in other languages. Anyways, very long story short, Bada gets what she wished for, while Suyan gets to tick a childhood friend off his bucket list. Suddenly, as the 2 lovebirds kept clapping with their hands, they hear feet noises nearby, so they end up hearing someone ask if they heard something. Upon hearing the question, the 2 froze mid-action, as if it was 2013 again, and the beat dropped during the Harlem Shake. The 2 lovebirds then realize that there's 2 boys right behind the rock, but they get saved as the blue-haired boy claims that the other one is hallucinating. But Suyan remembered he was a Sigma male, so he didn't care what others thought, so he decided to up the stakes as he decides to activate overdrive mode. As he continues, he ends up timing clapping your hands with the sound of the waves crashing, since he's a genius like Albert Einstein. Instead of sensing their dancing with music, they ended up following the beat of the ocean, quite poetic since the waves are the beating heart of the seas. Now back to Arie, where she begins complaining about how heavy the watermelon she picked out was, even though she only got one, and it came with some epic harness. Good thing that she also stopped by a grocery store to get drinks, as the 2 lovebirds need all the time they can get before they can get found out by her. As she continues to walk towards where they set up their picnic area, Arie ends up encountering the 2 boys from earlier, somehow unable to pinpoint a loud Arie, even though they were literally inches away. Suddenly, one of the boys interrupted her, eagerly asking if the Victoria's Secret model needs help carrying her groceries. The boy then ends up sounding suspect as he instantly asks afterwards if she's alone, then proceeded to giggle like a maniac. The golden-haired boy then grabbed the harness holding the watermelon, but Arie tells him to shoo off. Luckily, Suyan arrived right in time as he takes back the watermelon, so the boy instantly recoiled away due to how built Suyan looks. Afterwards, the blue-haired friend took away the other boy, telling him to stop being a sussy baka, since he's embarrassing him with his failed pickup lines. Nonetheless, Arie gets angry at Suyan after the two boys left, as she berates him for not picking up his phone earlier, but the real question is, where's Bada? Luckily, Arie asked the same question I did, but Suyan just lets her know that Bada is busy resting for a bit right now, claiming that she's currently super tired. Fast forward to the trio getting ready to eat some watermelons after taking a nap, so Suyan whips out his karate skills to slice up the watermelon. After cleanly slicing it open in half, they take out some spoons and begin devouring it, while Suyan is busy complimenting Arie's watermelon choosing skills. Arie then responds gleefully, saying of course, since she's the best, claiming that she has the best eyes for the job. Meanwhile, Bada looks disheveled, still shaking from earlier, looking like she's totally about to pass out from too much stimulation. But Suyan hands her some watermelons in an attempt to stabilize her. Fast forward to the next day, Suyan is busy at work, replaying what happened the day before, still unable to believe all the events that transpired that day. We then discover that Bada awkwardly left out of the blue during the watermelon session, and ever since then, she stopped messaging and calling him. Since she always calls first, Suyan is left worrying, as Bada is not up to her usual self. But speak of the devil, Bada came out of nowhere to startle our Chad, almost giving him a heart attack. She then starts to swoon due to her thinking that he looks more gloomy than usual, expecting that he was thinking about her the entire time. Now caught in the act of actually worrying about a girl, he refuses the notion, as that would mean he would have fallen from the graces of a Sigma male. It doesn't matter though, as Bada keeps throwing herself at him, calling him a bad boy for not calling a girl after his banana plantation took over her peach fruit. So the first thing he does is apologize, not realizing that she's not angry with him, so she smacks him hard, yelling at him to not apologize. If Suyan was one of the island boys, the bruise would have killed both of them. Nevertheless, Bada turns around and leaves, reminding Suyan that he promised to call her after, so she lets him know that she's still waiting. After work, Suyan heads back to the lodge. There we find the Blue Eyes White Dragon giving advice to Suyan, as it's revealed that he's come to a woman he conquered for advice, since that's what everyone does, right guys? But since Dragon Mama started to look sad upon hearing the advice he wants, Suyan just deflects it, claiming the advice is actually for his friend, not for him specifically. Meanwhile, we find out that Bada skipped work to go get super tan, so she poses at the beach, asking herself what the hell happened to make Suyan so good. Back at the lodge, Dragon Mama can't get fooled, so she begins to rise up, somewhat angry, asking Suyan if it's actually about him, but he denies it all. As such, Miju starts to look fierce, as if she's about to start her own anime villain arc, thinking to herself that it's all obvious. She then begins to fume as Suyan keeps denying it, but Dragon Mother comes to her senses, telling herself that he deserves somebody his age, since he's better off with a girl that can more closely relate with him. Plus, she says how their peaches are probably more ripe at their age. So in the end, she gets up and leaves the room, telling him to ask someone else, since she claims she has no experience in that field. Suyan is then left shocked, as Miju was his only chance to get solid advice, so I guess he will give her solid advice later instead. With Miju leaving to make food, Suyan just sits there dumbfounded, asking himself if she's mad at him or if he accidentally said something sussy. Regardless, during mealtime, Arie is not happy, even Miju preparing less than desirable food for the first time in a while. In a fit of rage, she smashes the table and throws everything into the air, asking what the heck happened to all the meat. The two then cower in a corner, as Arie started to growl at them, yelling that she can't live without some meat, so why not just try Suyan's meat? Now let's remember that everyone in this is Asian, so you know for a fact that if this was in real life, Arie's cake would get beat over and over. Anyways, after dinner, Miju finds herself alone, so she begins to scold herself for acting so childish with Suyan. She then comes to a conclusion that she must be feeling jealous that Suyan has found someone his own age, so she tries to snap out of it. But as she thinks more about him, she gets startled from some unexpected footsteps barging towards her. As she turns around, she realizes it's actually Suyan, looking like he wants to apologize.